Hey everyone, we are live for episode 11 of Around the Book. We are going to be discussing week 10 of the NFL. And sorry about that. I don't know what was happening. I was getting audio playing through my headphones from the live. Let me restart that. We're live for episode 11 of Around the Book. We're going to be going over week 10 of the NFL and week 11 of college football. It's crazy to think that we're already halfway through the season. It felt like just yesterday the season started. I don't know. It's wild. I don't know what to do. It's bad for me. I don't know what to do. And I think my picks this week are the craziest picks I'm gonna have all year. So I'm just hoping I'm just gonna let it roll and see what happens. But yeah, I'm down bad again. We were 2 for 4 on our touchdown parlay, so we're still not doing great on those. And as you guys can see as well, before we get going anywhere else, JT's out tonight. He did lose power, so hopefully everything stays safe for him out there. But we have his picks, so we'll definitely go over those and let you know what he decided for this week. Before we do get into our college picks, do you guys have anything you want to say? I know Dalton, you had a good week.
3-1 for the second straight week. Hopefully I can keep it rolling.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Fire. I know. I'm feeling a 4-0 this week probably for you.
I don't know. We'll see. It'd be crazy if it happened this week because my picks are a little out there.
Yeah. For sure. So if I can get 4-0 this week, I put a parlay on my picks. I'm going to be enjoying my weekend if that's the case. But yeah, so we'll get into our picks. One thing I do have a gripe actually with the NFL, with the Commanders actually, and this is kind of foreshadowing for my picks, but I've bet on them 3 times this year or 2 times this year already. Both times just tore my heart out. It was against the Eagles both times. So I don't know. I'm going to give a third time's a charm for the Commanders, but I'm just going to let that be a foreshadowing, and that's my only gripe. So I'm going to get into our NCAA picks. I'm going to start with my underdog, and this is really crazy right now because this team is on the biggest downward spiral. They're 7-3, and it's USC. I'm going to take their money line against Oregon. It's at plus 570. Hear me out. This is a total vibes pick because
I like it.
No one's going to expect it. USC is down bad, 7-3. But you got to think their loss to Washington. They lost 10 points. So it wasn't it was terrible. It could have been a lot worse. And Oregon is good. We did see them fall to Washington. So I think Washington's going to take over that conference with ease. But Oregon lost by a score. USC lost by 10. I don't know. I just think this is going to be a bounce back. USC has nothing to play for now this year, so maybe they're going to be playing spoiler for the Oregon Ducks because Oregon's on thin ice right now with that one loss. It's going to be hard for them to get in with one loss, so a second loss is going to knock them out of playoff contention altogether, knock them out of any other bigger bowls. I like this pick. I don't know. I just feel the good vibes off of it. So I'm going to go with it. Plus 570. What is there to lose? If it hits, it covers all my bets for these weekends, this weekend. So I'm going to go for it. Yeah, I like it. I feel good about it. I guess we'll talk next Wednesday. We'll see if I liked it. But my lock of the week, I'm going to stay in the Pac-12. I got Utah versus Washington over 53.5. Both these teams have the ability to put up 30, 40 points. Now, Utah has laid a couple games where they've only scored 7 to 14 points, which is a little scary, but they have the ability. It feels like every time Utah plays a bigger opponent, they're able to go punch for punch with them, which I think is going to help with this over. And Washington's just an offensive powerhouse right now in that conference. I think this is going to cover, this is going to hit 60-plus points. I think the line's currently at 51.5, but I got it at 53.5, unfortunately. but I still love it at 53.5, and I would get in at 51.5. I might actually put in another bet for it. But yeah, that's my lock. I think the Pac-12 is going to show me some love this weekend, hopefully.
I think Washington might hit that over themselves.
Yeah, very well.
Speaking of overs, the USC Oregon game, 73.5. As absurd as it sounds, that feels very low.
Yeah.
For that Oregon USC game.
It feels low, but it scares me also because how many times do you bet on an over that's 70 plus in football?
Yeah, but do we really? I mean, Notre Dame put up 48 on USC.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like you said, I think it's going to cover with ease. It's just scary to look at.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Because I mean, that point, regardless, fourth quarter, you're sweating that out.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be interesting. I guess Dalton, before we get to you, I'll get JT's college picks first. So go ahead, sorry.
Are you going to do JT's first?
Yeah, I was gonna do JT's real quick.
That works.
He has Kansas minus 4.5 as his lock. They have Oklahoma State this weekend. Who do they have this weekend?
I believe it's Oklahoma State.
I could be wrong. I should have looked that up before we got started here.
It is
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Okay, yeah. That's a great pick. Minus 4.5. That's pretty low. I feel like.
Yeah, Texas Tech blows.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's 4.5 against
Texas Tech is ass.
Yeah, like. No part of me would ever think I would say, Kansas is going to blow out Texas Tech in the Big 12. But I guess we're here.
Yeah.
And then he has Colorado plus 10.5 as his underdog against Arizona, who is ranked this week. I think they're 21 or 22 maybe. Colorado is good to me week 0 of college football, but they've been kind of a disappointment. So, JT, I'm with you. I'm not going to follow this pick with you, but I'm rooting for you from afar, brother.
Arizona's a sneaky good team.
They are, surprisingly.
They are.
But also, just with my picks, Pac-12 defense sucks in general, so points are abundant. That's why I'm not afraid of that 53.5.
Yeah. But to put it in perspective for Texas Tech, they played Oregon really tough, like the second week of the year, but they've just been terrible ever since. Like they're coming off a nail biter win against TCU, and we know TCU is a far cry from what they were last year.
Yeah, it was kind of sad how big of a drop off they had.
They fell off a cliff.
Yeah. All right.
Should I get into my picks then?
Yeah.
All right. So, coming off of, I think 2 straight 2-0. I think I'm 4-0 in the last 2 weeks in college. But because of that, we're gonna mix things up a little bit with our underdog this week. But first, I'll get into my lock this week. For my lock, I am taking. I know the last couple weeks I've been talking about how Washington and Oregon have separated themselves in the Pac-12, but I'm actually taking Utah plus 9.5 against Washington this week. I do think Washington's a better team. I would be shocked if they lost that game, but Washington, their defense, I don't think is good enough to put teams away, as we saw last week with USC. Now, USC's offense is much different from Utah's, but I also think Utah has the defense to hang around with just about anybody. So I like Utah to keep that game to single digits. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington still won that game by even 8 or 9, but I think it'll be like a 26-23 game or 26-19 game, something like that. Utah will hang around. I don't think they'll be able to win and I don't think it'll be as close as that score line will show. But Utah will stick around and they'll cover 9.5.
Yeah.
And then my underdog this week, if you guys read best bets on ATB, I've been betting against Oklahoma the last 2 weeks, betting against them again. West Virginia plus 400 on the road at Oklahoma. As we can see, Oklahoma, that win over Texas was very misleading. They're not that
Yes.
great. They're really a middle of the pack Big 12 team. I think they're right in that same caliber as West Virginia. I do think they're a little bit better of a team than West Virginia, at least on paper. But West Virginia's been playing really hard lately. They've been playing really well all year. They've been playing everybody tough. Just go back and look at that Penn State game week 1. I think if I were handicapping this game, I'd probably put Oklahoma at like plus 160, maybe something like that. I would definitely favor Oklahoma, but plus 400 odds for West Virginia is just absurd value. I can't pass that up. So we're going to take the Mountaineers. We're going to bet on Oklahoma dropping 3 in a row after being, 7 in the country a couple weeks ago.
I don't know
Keep betting
how,
on
but
them pretty strong.
Was how Oklahoma's looked recently. Those odds against them are pretty nice.
Yeah.
I might tell that.
Yeah. And you just never know what West Virginia team you're gonna get.
Yeah. I don't feel great about West Virginia, but at plus 400, it's just you can't find better value than that on a game that's gonna be close at the very least.
I think you have 2 good picks because I think Utah does the same thing West Virginia does, where they play to their opponent's strength. So they will stick around with whoever in the country. It doesn't matter. But like you said, I think Utah's still going to lose, but it's not going to be by much.
No, Utah is a good team. I do think if Cam Rising were healthy for Utah, I think Utah would be a top 5, top 10 team right now.
I totally agree.
Their defense is legit.
Mm-hmm.
They're also without their starting tight end too.
Yeah.
Kicha or whatever his name is. I think that's how you pronounce it.
All right, we'll get into my picks. So for college football, I can't bet college football for some reason. Last week I was gone. I tried to not really pay attention, just sit back, and then I think I went 0-2 last week. So it's just been disgusting. So at this point, I'm just going to chill, take a step back, and just go with some vibes picks, see if we can get back on track. So for my lock this week, I'm going with Florida State minus 14 at minus 112 odds. A month ago, this Florida State and Miami game would have looked real nice on the schedule, but Miami's completely fallen apart ever since that terrible loss. I forgot who they choked that game to. I think it was Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, yeah.
Ever since then, they've kind of fallen apart. In their last 5 games, they're 1-4 against the spread. Florida State's a playoff contender. I don't think they're overlooking this game. They've got a lot on the line. So I feel pretty confident that they'll be able to cover the spread here. I hope they do for the sake of my record. And then my underdog pick, we're going with the complete vibes pick here. I'm going with Penn State money line at plus 170 against Michigan this week. Part of the reason for this is because one of my futures for college football this year was Penn State to make the playoff. Right now, it doesn't look like the greatest chance of that happening, but they need to win this game, obviously, to even have a chance. Hopefully, with some of the things going on with Michigan, maybe they're a little bit sidetracked, not on their A game. I think this game will be close at the very least. So with that in mind, and plus 170 is decent odds here, I'm going to roll with that for my underdog.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and I'm glad none of us voted or picked a SEC matchup. I'm really happy about that.
No,
I got burnt. Yeah, I got burned again.
Never worked.
Freaking Missouri last week. It's stay in the SEC, dude. Oh, that's bullshit.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's the most. I mean, Lane Kiffin might win the SEC West.
Yeah. they're gonna roll Mississippi State here in a couple weeks, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we're in it, we're in it." Who they got? They got Georgia this week, don't they?
God,
I think so. Yeah.
that would be the ultimate like.
If they beat Georgia,
Georgia.
if they beat Georgia, I'm still not going to bet on the SEC, but I'll give them a little bit more respect.
They beat Georgia, like the whole conference is officially on fire.
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma are looking for ways out of that deal.
What's next? What's like, who's the next team in the SEC right now? Like, I don't know. Texas sucks.
Texas, but they're recruiting well.
Yeah.
Like the Arch Manning era hasn't even started yet.
Dude, all right. I don't even think Arch is gonna be that good. No, dude, I don't think he's like. I'll probably get flamed for this, but I don't think he's Texas good. Like,
I'll hear you out on this. I see
like he could be SEC good, but like Vanderbilt SEC. He's not Texas SEC. He might go. You know where he would be good at? North Carolina State. Leave it at that. I like him at that time.
Known quarterback factory, NC State.
Yeah, but like NC State's not going out there winning national championships.
No, but they're putting quarterbacks in the NFL.
They are, and like I don't know, man. Arch is not the guy. I don't like it. I think he's riding a lot on his name. Not that his like not.
Have you watched his high school tape?
Yeah, dude. I've watched a few of his games when they were playing him on at ESPN. I don't know. I
think because of his last name, he's a little tiny bit overhyped. But I don't know if I would say Vanderbilt or NC State.
I think he'll be a competent Power 5. I think he'll be a good.
I think he's a little better than Vanderbilt.
I guess we'll just have to see. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm not ready to say he's Peyton, by any stretch.
That's what gets me. I think a lot of people think he's like Eli and Peyton level, and
it's the name.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
he could be Eli good, but that's not saying that much.
No. Yeah.
Eli good when he's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but like Eli was steady his whole career.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm tired of like everyone think he's the next god of football.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think his last name's giving him a lot of credit. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I feel good about this week for college football. Pac-12 heavy. They've been shown out this year for their final curtain call.
Pac-12's reliable. Betting wise, they've been reliable.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm surprised none of us touched the Michigan Penn State game this weekend.
Well, Jake did.
I have,
that's right. You're right. I
don't know how I feel about that as a Penn State fan because I
love it.
Don't feel great about this week.
I'm a little nervous, but
I don't know.
It's my future, so I just gotta roll with it.
I like it.
But I think I do think it's going to be a close game for sure.
Yeah.
So at plus 170 on a game, it's going to be close.
So how does this work? If say Penn State beats Michigan, and then Ohio State play, Michigan beats Ohio State.
So it'll come down to who has the best out of their seeing how they each play 3 teams in the West.
Yeah.
Whichever team's 3 Western opponents have the best combined record, they would win the East.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how it works. I'm almost positive because this almost happened. I mean, this has almost happened a couple times now.
Yeah. I just had this bad feeling in the back of my head as a Ohio State fan that's how it's going to play out.
Yeah. I wonder who has everybody played?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We can look into that later.
Yeah.
We're getting too ahead of ourselves.
Oh, yeah. We're going way down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. All right.
Just wait till it gets expanded to 12 teams. Then we're going to.
Yeah. We won't even have to worry about it.
A whole lot more.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about seeds like 6 through 17. Just like
crazy.
every week.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be.
It's
I
gonna be
can't wait for
chaos.
it.
Like I said, I'm telling you, locking this future bet right now. James Madison to make the playoff next year.
Okay.
Calling it right now. James
All right.
Madison is making the playoff next year.
Okay. How much? Do they even have those lines out yet?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
Set a reminder.
Yeah, we'll set a reminder, as
reminder.
soon as the season ends. All right, we'll move on to NFL here. I'm going to start off with my underdog. And I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. I have the Commanders' money line at plus 220 against the Seahawks. The Seahawks got exposed last week. I thought the Seahawks, they were scaring me a little bit in the NFC West as a 49ers fan because as you can tell, the 49ers are on a downfall right now, and then the Seahawks just started surging ahead. So I'm kind of glad the Browns just took them to the woodshed and destroyed them. So I was happy about that. And then I know the Commanders just lost all these key players to trades, but this is everyone's going to come together, grind out a win in Seattle. I looked at the weather. It's going to be rainy. I know they play on turf, but and even if it's at Seattle in the 12th man, who gives a crap, dude? The Commanders are going to grind this out. It's going to be an under. I think the line, the last time I checked, it was 40.5 or something like that. It's or 38.5, something low, I think. It's not going to be a fun game to watch, but the Commanders are going to win on a last second field goal. I'm going to say 13-10. That's what I'm going to say. 13-10.
That's a horrible game.
I told you it's going to be a grinded out. No one's going to have fun watching this game. I don't know, man. I'm just feeling – I don't know. I don't even want to put the bad juju in there. Trust me on this one. Commanders money line. Third time's a charm. They've destroyed me the past 2 times I've bet on them this year, but third time's a charm. And then I'm going to go with my lock of the week, the Lions and Chargers over 48.5 at minus 115. Both teams can score. Lions are coming off a bye week. Hopefully they've had time to rest, get some healing done for some of the guys that might have been a little bit banged up. Chargers are going to have a short week, obviously, because they played on Monday night. But they look great against I would say top-tier Jets defense in the league. I think that's what the Jets can hang their hat on this year is their defense. So, for the Chargers to just go out there and get whatever they wanted, it seemed. I mean, they were able to put up 20-plus points against them and against the Lions defense, which I think it's a good defense, but I just don't think it's as good as the Jets. So I think the vibes are pointing towards this over. I mean, I think it's going to be an easy one at 48.5, 30-27, 30-26, something like that for this game. I'm feeling that. So those are my locks underdog for the NFL this week.
I like them. I was looking at the Lions and Chargers over.
Yeah,
I
think. Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to. I haven't checked it to see if it's gone up since yesterday, but I was curious about that.
Okay.
I like your lock too. I was shocked by how bad the Seahawks looked last week.
Yeah.
That was
my one loss last week.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
Did you have the spread on that, or did you have them outright?
I had Seahawks money line against Baltimore, yeah.
Dude,
They just look bad.
The AFC North is kicking the NFC West ass this year, dude.
The AFC North is just good in general.
Yeah.
It's
I think what's the
damn good
worst team,
conference or
5-3, I think.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are last, or the Bengals are 5-3.
Yeah.
And that's with PJ Walker playing quarterback for half their games.
Yep.
That's crazy. When was the last time every team in a division made the playoffs? Because I feel like there's a chance with the AFC North. This year.
Right now, they are. I think all teams are in. I don't know.
I don't think it's happened yet because it's only been possible for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But it's gotten. There was one that was close.
I mean, I
think
feel
the
like we've had
NFC West got close the one year.
I feel like we've had a few times where there's 3 or a couple times where 3 teams from the
Yeah, we've had
conference
3.
made it.
We haven't had 4 yet. It hasn't happened yet, but I could see it happening this year.
Yeah. And that line's still at 48.5, so
Yeah.
I think it's a good one.
The only team that's like a real threat would probably be the Jets. That's probably the only team that's a threat to a wild card spot. Otherwise,
Yeah.
the AFC North is going to lock up all 3.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Well, I guess I'll do JT. Sorry about that. So JT has for his lock is the Lions -3 against the Chargers. I think the Lions are definitely going to win this one. Probably by a touchdown or more. I don't know. I like that pick for his lock. Lions are just looking great this year. And then he's got the Packers +3 against the Steelers for his underdog.
I like that.
I do too. I think we were all just like basically loving on the AFC North, but I still think the Steelers. I still think that like it's NFL, so I mean anything can happen any week.
Yep. And that's the thing about the NFL. Every time we think we know something about this league,
Yeah.
comes around and kicks us in the ass.
All right. So those are his picks.
All right. So NFL went 1-1 again last week. I'm struggling to even hover below 500. But the one thing that's been working for me this year is picking Raiders games. Those are the only picks I hit. So both my picks are in that Raiders Jets game this week. My underdog pick this week. Well, I'll do my lock first. My lock this week is the under. We've got under 36 for that. The Raiders have been playing under games all year. Their defense looks great. They should chase. I think Max Crosby is going to chase Zach Wilson around all game. I don't see the Jets scoring. I think the Jets will struggle to break 20. And the Raiders offense finally came alive last week against the Giants. But that was the Giants. I don't think you're going to see them have quite as much success this week against the Jets. I expect the Jets to keep them in check. It'll be a low-scoring game. I do think the Raiders are going to win this one. Spoiler alert for my next pick. But I'm thinking like a 13-10 Raiders game, something ugly like that Commanders game. Maybe 17-13, 17-16 at most. But it's going to be something ugly like that. But with that, I'm taking the Raiders money line at +100. The way they looked last week, I mean, this is a new team. Like the offense looked like an offense that had Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. Like just having Aiden O'Connell at quarterback and the threat of being able to throw the ball down the field just opens up so much running room for Josh Jacobs. Also getting rid of Josh McDaniels and putting in a new offensive coordinator and Bo Hardegree. Their offense actually has some imagination now. People other than Adams and Jacoby Myers are getting the ball. I think they'll do enough to win the game. I think it'll be a lower scoring game, but I think they'll do enough. They'll score enough, and that defense will continue to carry them, especially against the Jets offense that's kind of iffy at best.
I love those picks. It's going to be like a 17-13 Raiders win.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a gross Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's right. That's Sunday.
They have the Sunday night game. I don't know who decided the Raiders and Jets. I don't know why the Raiders have gotten so many primetime games
So much
this year. This is like our 5th primetime game, I feel like. And
I think. Yeah,
I don't-
they weren't even good last year. I don't know what earned them so many.
I don't know. Like they like signed Jimmy Garoppolo, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's happening!"
Must see TV.
Yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo, or not anymore, but Jimmy Garoppolo versus Zach Wilson. That would have been a
God.
disgusting.
Yeah.
All right. So NFL, I have been decent at, so I'm kind of confident in these picks. I'm gonna go with the Ravens -6 for my lock this week. We touched on the Ravens and Seahawks game last week earlier, but the Ravens are 7-2 and they're tied for the first seed in the AFC, and I feel like they don't really get talked about as much as some of the other top teams. But they've quietly been one of the best teams, if not the best team in the AFC. They beat the Browns 28-3 earlier this year. That's who they play this week. I know AFC North teams know each other very well, and those games are always close and relatively ugly. But so I think there's a chance that I don't think they're going to run away with this one, but I feel pretty confident that they'll be able to beat Cleveland by a touchdown this week. And then for my underdog, I'm going to roll with the Texans money line at +250 against the Bengals. I was kind of surprised to see that the line was this high, or the money line was this high. I'm only taking this because of CJ Stroud. He's the best rookie quarterback I've watched in a minute, and the offense just looks good. They've taken a lot of strides from last season. They look pretty good, and I think with Stroud playing how he is right now at +250, I think those are pretty decent odds. So yeah, roll the Texans there.
I almost went with that Texans pick as well. Just because, like you said, just because of CJ Stroud. I mean,
yeah.
It's crazy, like, when you watch him in college, just, like, how effortless it looks sometimes when he was throwing the ball. And that's almost what it looked like this past week. It almost felt like he was going up against, like, a lower-tier Division I team. Like, he was just dotting the ball everywhere, like, getting it wherever he needed. It was
the whole offseason, I was begging the Raiders to trade up and get CJ Stroud. I was begging them to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I would have been right.
Yeah. He's just unreal. I don't know.
But hey, Jake, just think, had the Raiders done that, they would have sat him behind Jimmy Garoppolo anyway.
Did you see? I think I saw a report like a couple of days ago that they considered trading up, but it was to get Bryce Young. And I was like, that would be the most Raiders.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Bryce Young hasn't been bad. Like,
I think Bryce Young will be a good NFL quarterback, but it would be so Raiders to trade up and then pass on Stroud and then have the year he's having.
Yeah, Bryce Young is I don't know, man. I
have hope for him. I think he'll be.
Yeah, it's too early.
He's in a tough spot right now.
He is. I had to try to keep reminding myself because every part of me wants to be like, this dude is not going to make it.
but he's throwing to Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If you're
it's a battle line too.
He's at the end of week 5, Thielen was in top 3, yards or something like that. Ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep reminding myself. But dude's I don't know. I kind of feel bad for him. Definitely not panning out yet.
Yeah,
but. You know what, game, you were talking about this, with the Browns. I wish I could put, a future on a single game because the Browns and Bengals play for their last game of the year or, regular season. I think that's going to be, one of the best games of the year. I think it's going to be, a seed decider as far as,
could decide a playoff spot.
Yeah, I'm excited to bet that game. I think I'm going to, put a reminder in my phone to remind myself to make that my pick for that week. But yeah, do you guys have anything else you're betting on? I know college basketball started, NBA started, NHL. Anything you guys like?
Premier League's heating up. There's some decent picks. Looking at Chelsea to hold Man City to a draw at +275.
Oof.
Chelsea Man City draw.
Oof.
I know Chelsea
I
sounds
don't trust
bad
Chelsea
right now, but
I don't.
they can step up for that one.
What?
Yeah.
So like, when does the Premier League season go on? Like, or when did it start?
So it started in
Almost all year.
August.
All
It's
right.
like August to May or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like a super like not even casual fan. I don't even know
Yeah.
much about it.
It's pretty intense this year.
Yeah.
My Spurs are finally have some life.
Is this have you convinced yourself that this is the year?
No, see, I was trying not to because we have like brand new manager. I feel we're gonna drop off in the next couple months at some point, but I think when they beat Liverpool, I was like, maybe they might do it this year. But we got a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
and
I feel like for
players.
Tottenham fans, it's every year, right? Every year, it feels like this is the year.
We keep getting made fun of for having no trophies. We need to win something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like the one that was bad was the Leicester year.
Yeah.
That was because it was like, all right,
That was the
it's
year
not
to
going to
do
be a
it.
Big Four club, and then Leicester.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, I do have one more thing to talk about. You know how we did NHL Futures a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
Freaking Jack Hughes, dude. I had him for my most goal scorers or most goals, whatever. It was like the Rocket Richard Trophy or whatever it was. I forget.
Richard.
Yeah. Rocket Richard. I'm such a freaking casual dude.
He's like gonna win the Rocket Richard or something.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what he's on the way to win, not the Rocket Richard. God, I'm such a dumbass.
Some of them are hard to pronounce. I had to look up.
I should have known. I
the
should have
Zenith.
known that that's how it was pronounced. I don't know what I was thinking.
I had to look up the name of mine. I wasn't.
To be fair, now that I think about it, I don't even think I'm pronouncing it right. I think it's actually to get really French Canadian. I think it's Richard.
Yeah. I mean, you were way closer than I was, so.
Rocket Richard.
Yeah. I said it like a true freaking Southern idiot, Richard. Yeah, dude. So all they're saying is he's week to week at this point. Like, what
It's a
the
long
hell,
year.
man?
It's a long year.
It is, but like, it was
There's
a
still
long
like
shot.
70 games.
I know, but it was a long shot for him to win it. So, like, him
Yeah.
missing a few weeks of games going to hurt, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm like freaking pissed about that one.
My Sharks finally got their first win last night.
I saw that.
We're barely. I don't know how they held on to that one, but I think we're 10-1 now. So
Did you guys see the picture of that like kid at the Sharks
it's
game?
my first Sharks
With the
game,
sign saying it's my first
and the
Sharks
score is like 10-1.
Yeah.
It was Hito at the end of the second period.
What's even more funny is the game after that they lost like 11-1. I think.
Jeez, dude.
Christ.
Yeah, it's
Like,
gonna
what
be
are
the
they
worst.
doing? Are they just like playing a bunch of young guys right now and fully
They just-
tanking, or are they just bad?
They should have started rebuilding like 3 years ago, but for some reason they made the playoffs like 15 years out of 16, so they were trying to hold on to that. But they were kind of caught in between, and they eventually the Stars like lost all their trade values, so they ended up. If they would have rebuilt 3 years ago, they'd be in a good situation. But now they just had to shed bad contracts, so it's a bunch of young players, and there's like nobody in the farm system because they should have started 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
one of the more bleak outlooks in hockey for sure.
Yeah.
But they might not win for another 3 weeks, so I had to give them some respect in here.
We'll check. We'll set a reminder for that one in 3 weeks to see if they get some more respect.
There you go.
All right. Well, I guess this is going to be a short episode this week. Unless you
Touchdown
guys-
parlay.
Oh yeah, touchdown parlay.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. So we're only going to have three picks this week, so the odds aren't going to be as good. We don't have the odds yet.
Put his in the chat. Did he have one in the?
No. Actually, I didn't check. He may have.
I don't see one from him.
All right. Well, that just improves our odds.
Yes.
How about you guys at home pick your own person? How about that? We'll give
There
you
you go.
three, and then you pick your fourth.
Pick your
So I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson. Past few weeks, Atlanta fans have just been really upset with the production that he's getting, or lack thereof, I should say. I mean, it seems like the media is bugging Arthur Smith about it. So I would hope he's going to do the smart thing this week and give him some more carries and give him an opportunity to get in the end zone. So that's why I went with Bijan. Dalton, who was your guy?
So I got like you mentioned, that Chargers Lions game should be a high scoring game. I'm taking Keenan Allen to get one of those touchdowns at some point. I mean, the Chargers with Josh Palmer now out, the Chargers literally don't have any other wide receivers. And as good as the Lions have been, their secondary, I think when it comes to taking on elite wide receivers like Allen, they're a little suspect. I like him to score.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he was balling out on Monday night.
He's good.
Yeah.
Really good.
All right, I'm gonna roll with T.J. Hawkinson this week.
Love it.
He played his first game last week with Josh Dobbs, and he got 12 targets, which is a season high. So looks like he has earned his trust pretty early. They're playing the Saints this week, and the Saints have allowed the most TDs to tight ends. So I think he's going to get a lot of targets and should have a lot of opportunities. And I'm not sure what the odds are. Exactly.
Yeah, they probably won't pop up till tomorrow. That's I'm going to put it in.
I was looking for him today, and I just couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I like those three. I feel like I've said that every week, though, but we have better odds of this one hitting. So as a reminder, with Bijan Robinson, Keenan Allen, and T.J. Hawkinson, three bigger names. So hopefully they can find the end zone this weekend.
It looks like
maybe
DraftKings has some up.
Oh, they do.
Allen was plus 135.
It's pretty good.
That's solid.
And
Yeah, I don't know
TJ
what to-
Hawkinson is plus 170.
Oh my gosh, this one's gonna be a meaty one. Bijan's probably gonna be plus 130 as well, if his is up, or probably more than that, maybe 150.
Of course, that's the one game that's not up yet.
Makes it. Do they play at 4 something? Are they the 4 o'clock games?
Yeah, but so's the Chargers game, and that one's up.
Weird.
But just with Allen and Hawkinson, just those two together is plus 534.
Yeah, and then Bijan will, I would imagine, would be plus odds. I just don't know what. I can see it being plus 120. I can also see it being plus 150. All right.
So total, it's gonna be high.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one just for 3 people. And if you're feeling frisky and want to add a 4th person, go ahead. No one's gonna stop you on that one. But I like the picks this week. Hopefully, I can come back. I'm still kind of just breaking even on my units, so I need to get some luck going. I need to get a good few weeks under my belt here. But I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. We'll see you guys next week, same time, 9:30 Eastern. Wednesday, we'll go over some more picks for Week 11 of NFL and Week 12 of college football. We appreciate you guys listening in. Let us know if you like the picks, if you don't like the picks, what you'd like to see us do, or any other sports you want to see us betting on. Let us know. We're going to try to get more content as far as college and NBA basketball since it's starting to heat up. So thanks for sticking with us. Let us know if you had any good bets from last weekend, or if you have any good bets you want us to see for this week. And we appreciate you watching, and have a good rest of your night.